Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Dear Venerable Singer, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Quickly Buddhist News in English on PSO TV channel. These are 9 major news of the week. Hà Nam, entire country conference on March of 2020 at CHÚC Pagoda. Nghệ An, mass requiem ritual to commemorate fallen soldiers at VIET-LAO International Martyrs Cemetery. Sóc Trăng, thiện sanh tâm từ CONSECRATED SIMA inaugurated in Buddhist year 2564, solar calendar 2020. Bình Định, Trí Hải BÍCH LIệN consecrated SIMA for ordination inaugurated. Ninh Bình, SANGHA customary outfit project for uniformity in diversity implemented. Ho Chi Minh City, humanitarian blood donation fiesta at Minh Đạo Pagoda. Bắc Ninh, Phật Tích Pagoda organized opening ceremony for 11 summer retreat with the theme of Buddhism with the youth. Nghệ An, opening summer retreat of nurturing LOTUS at LINH Pagoda. Bình Dương, Thiên Quang Pagoda organized rasa and offers gifts to visually impaired people. And the following are the news in details. On the morning of July 24, 2020, at CHÚC Pagoda, Hà Nam Province, the Vietnam Buddhist Singer Committee organized a national Singer conference in 2020 with the theme Improving the Effectiveness of the Management over Months of Class of Vietnam Buddhist Singer.
In witness, it was honored to have Most Venerable THIện, Chairman of the Administration Council, Vietnam Buddhist Singer. Most Venerable THIện, Standing Vice Chairman of the Administration Council, Head of Monks Affairs Section, Head of the Organizing Committee. Most Venerable THIệu, Standing Vice Chairman of Administration Council, Standing Vice Chairman of Monks Affairs Section. Most Venerable Yoshimizu Daichi, former President of the Pure Land Society of Japan, and the dignitaries from 63 provinces. The conference also welcomed the delegates from the central departments and the director of Xuân Trường Construction Enterprise. Most Venerable THIện delivered the opening speech and affirmed that the monks' affair work is always the leading Buddhist affair in the Sangha. The goal is to uphold discipline and serve the Dharma. It is to adhere to 6 principles of living in harmony, the 4 Dharma methods in administration, implementing the Buddhist activities at all levels of the Sangha. This conference aims to recognize practical evaluation on the increase of the current situation in the localities, analyze the causes of problems and challenges, and make recommendations and solutions to outstanding and pending issues. Venerable THIện delivered a report on Buddhist work in the first 6 months of 2020. The Central Monks Affairs Section is one of 13 central committees and institutes under the leadership of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. From a general viewpoint, with a sense of responsibility and the guidance of the Administration Council and the support of the authorities, the Central Monks Affairs Section increased the Buddhist activities, contributing to the completion of the Buddhist affairs and the Buddhist Sangha activities successfully. However, there are still some limitations that will be overcome to make the monks' and nuns' activities better in monasteries and friaries.
On the occasions of 73rd anniversary of World Invalids and Martyrs Day, on the evening of July 18, 2020, the Vietnam Buddhist Singer in Nghệ An Province, the People's Committee of Nghệ An Province, coordinated with the Organizing Committee of Clean Water Remember the Rituals to hold a mass requiem ritual in commemoration of fallen soldiers and martyrs at Vietnam-Laos International Martyrs Cemetery.
Among the attendants, there were Most Venerable THIện, Permanent Vice Chairman of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Head of the Provincial Buddhist Sangha, Venerable Thích Thọ Lạc, Member of the Secretariat, Head of Central Cultural Committee, Standing Vice Chairman of the Provincial Administration Board, with other numerous monks. The invited delegates comprised Mr. Trần Thanh Mẫn, Secretary of the Central Party Committee, Chairman of the Central Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee, and the leaders of the provincial departments. The Vietnam-Laos International Martyrs Cemetery is home to the graves of more than 11,000 volunteer service officials, soldiers, and military experts from 47 provinces and cities across the country who sacrificed their lives on the Laos battlefield. At the ceremony, the monks and nuns, leaders at all levels, the delegates expressed their deep gratitude to the dedication and sacrifice of the heroism of martyrs for the cause of national liberation and lofty international obligations. The ceremony took place with traditional rituals, including offering incense and flowers to the monument, REQUIEM, offering incense to worship late President Ho Chi Minh and heroes of the martyrs, commemorating and praying for the souls of the heroic martyrs to be unbound. Thousands of candles, thousands of flowers, incenses were raised by Buddhists and people from all over the region to express the gratitude according to the drink water and remember the source morality of the Vietnamese nation.
On the morning of July 23, 2020, at the ordination hall of Hương Sơn Pagoda, Trang Province, the opening ceremony officially took place for consecrated SIMA THIện N in Buddhist year 2564.
In witness, it was honored to have the attendance of Most Venerable Thích Tịnh Hạnh, Most Venerable Thích Minh Hồng, co-member of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân, Chairman of the Administration Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Tăng No, Standing Member of the Administration Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Vice Director of Central Control Section, Head of the Provincial Buddhist Sangha, Most Venerable Thích Trí Phát, Most Venerable Thích Trí Huệ, co-members of Provincial Buddhist Patrons, Venerable Thích Minh Hạnh, Member of the Administration Board, Vice Director of the Provincial Buddhist Sangha, together with religious dignitaries and 235 novices. In the attendance, there were also representatives of local authorities and hundreds of Buddhists. In the opening remarks, Venerable Thích Minh Hạnh raised the meaning of the novices cherishing for ordination at the consecrated SIMA, and he commemorated and acknowledged the grace of the Most Venerable Thích Thiện Sanh Tâm Từ, who had devoted his whole life for service to the Dharma. After that, Venerable Thích Thiện Nguyện and Venerable Thích Định Hương declared the biography of Most Venerable Thích Thiện Sanh and reported on the preparation of the great consecrated SIMA for ordination. The novices, BUDDHIST, knelt before the majesty of the Buddhas, offered their vows and expressed their happiness and longing for the ordination when they received the Dharma precepts. In bestowing, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhân reminded the disciples of the noble value of the Buddhist disciples. Most Venerable also wished the novices, BUDDHIST, to achieve and preserve the ordination, the three precepts of discipline, meditation, wisdom, and or be always aware about. Ordination is a teacher, the fulcrum, as strong foundation for the renunciated novices.
On the morning of July 21st, 2020, at Long Khánh Patriarch Original Temple, BINH Provincial Buddhist Sangha, solemnly opened the DINH LIênn consecrated SIMA for ordination with the participation of over 350 Buddhist practitioners.
In witness, it was honored to have Elder Most Venerable Thích Thiện Duyên, Vice Prelate of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha's Council of Patron, Most Venerable Thích Giác Trí, Member of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Provincial Patrons Board, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Pháp, Standing Vice Chairman of the Administration Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Head of the Monks Affairs Board, Most Venerable Thích Nguyên Phước, Standing Member of the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, Head of the Provincial Monks Affairs Board, and religious dignitaries, venerable monks and nuns among the attendants. On the government side, Mrs. Hồ Thị Kim Thu, Vice Chairwoman of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee, Mr. Hồ Quang Thơm, Head of Provincial Religious Committee, and other representatives of provincial and city authorities. Most Venerable Thích Nguyên Phước said the Chí Hải Bích Liên consecrated SIMA for ordination was held during the period from the 21st of July to 25th of July 2020 in order to pass the ordination to ascetic practitioners. Venerable Thích Đồng Thành also declared the revealed biology of Most Venerable BICH LIêN Thích Chí Hải, who was born in 1876 and died in 1950, who was a master monk with many contributions to the Buddhist revival movement in study and cultures during the early 20th century. He excelled in the practice of Buddhism and continued the lineage of the great patriarch of Vietnam Buddhism. In bestowing, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Pháp emphasized the meaning of the precepts to maintain the Tathagata circuit, to help people with the Buddha predestination to receive the Dharma precepts, and to cultivate the path of karma. Ascetic practitioners must strive to practice according to the Buddha teaching and deserve to be a Buddhist disciple.
On the morning of July 18, 2020, at Dong Duc Pagoda, Ninh Province, the Provincial Buddhist Sangha conducted a ritual to open the roster of Buddhist year 2564 solar calendar 2020. Ninh is also the first locality in the country to implement the Vietnamese Sangha customary outfit project for uniformity in diversity.
After the rituals of nurturing and worshipping for the Buddha to pray for blessing, Venerable Thích Thọ Lạc gave a speech to open the vasa, encouraging the monks and nuns of the home province to grant the local Buddhist affairs, wholeheartedly to the precept, to cultivate energies for ascetic practice in 3 coming months. On this occasion, the Venerable also recommended that the retreat should follow a session in accordance with Sangha Guide to the Rain Retreats of 10 months, organizing the said rain retreat, observing the epidemic preventive requirement, as well as organizing many activities for practitioners to cultivate and read Buddhist original scriptures on occasional vasa. The Provincial Buddhist Sangha has also implemented a plan to reinstate Vietnam Buddhist Sangha uniformly in diversities. It seeks to preserve, inherit, and promote the traditions of Vietnamese Buddhism and at the same time establish its own identity for the Buddhist monks and nuns. New customary clothes placing on the traditional custom are designed into 3-piece dress and long dress first prevailing among Buddhist monks, nuns, and laypersons. The success in interpreting the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha traditional customer outfits is the basis for building and developing a uniform Buddhist culture in diversity.
On the morning of July 23, 2020, the program Humanitarian Blood Donation Fiesta was organized by Minh Đạo Pagoda in collaboration with the authorities of Quận 9, District 3, Red Cross Association, and Youth Union of Quận 9, District 3, Ho Chi Minh City at Minh Đạo Pagoda.
In the attendance, there were venerable monks, Venerable Thích Như Quang, President at Minh Đạo Pagoda, Venerable Thích Tệ Tánh, Secretary of the General Information for the online channel, Mr. Lê Minh Đạt, District Commissioner, Party Secretary of Ward 9, Ms. Phạm Thị Hồng Cúc, Chairwoman of the Fatherland Front Committee, Ward 9, District 3, Mr. Biện Minh Trung, Secretary of Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union of Ward 9, Ms. Lê Thị Duyên, Chairwoman of Red Cross Society of Ward 9. On behalf of monks in Minh Đạo Pagoda, Venerable Thích Như Quang gave the opening speech at the ceremony to emphasize the importance of the blood donation. It is to save people's life as an extremely practical and meaningful action. A drop of blood is given, a life is retained. Buddhism is a religion of universal compassion, wisdom, and emancipation. By this, monks and nuns must know and practice the 6 parameters which Buddha has taught, of which almsgiving is the leading virtue. Thereby, Ms. Phạm Thị Hồng Cúc thanked the monk of Minh Đạo Pagoda for creating favorable conditions for the local authorities and the Red Cross Society of District 3 to organize the blood donation day at the temple. At the same time, Ms. Cook also thanked the noble gesture of the monks and nuns, Buddhists, who participated in the blood donation fiesta.
On the morning of July 18, 2020, at Phật Pagoda, Bắc Ninh Province, there was an opening ceremony of 11 summer retreat with the theme of Buddhism with the youth. The program lasted for 6 days from July 17 to July 22, 2020.
In witness, there were Venerable Thích Đức Thiện, Vice President cum Secretary General of the Executive Council, Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, the Abbot of Phật Pagoda, Venerable THIện Hạnh, Vice Head of the Executive Council, Provincial Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, cum Head of Social Charity Department of Provincial Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, together with monks and nuns of Phật Pagoda. There was also the attendance of laity Buddhist TRANG, member of the executive, Vice Secretary of the Buddhist Guide Council, together with 250 attendees. Venerable Thích Nhuận Thanh has praised the young attendees for their diligent study spirit. The young attendees has good opportunities to study and play in groups to learn about Buddhism and Buddhist teachings to put them into implementation in daily life, helping them to increase virtuous minds, think and do good things, to be filial to parents and grandparents, trust in three jewelry. Venerable Thích Hạnh has delivered compassionate message and encouraged attendants to study diligently, seriously follow studying schedule, know how to share and have friends in the same course. Laity Buddhist TRANG has praised and appreciated special attention from Venerable Thích Đức Thiện granted to young children for the past 11 years and also advised the young children should try to practice diligently what they learn to have interesting experiences in these helpful summer days.
On the evening of July 21st, 2020, in Nghệ Province, it took place the opening ceremony of the first summer retreat named in Vietnamese Mầm Hoa Sen, nurturing lotus, for 420 young children aged from 8 to 12 years old. The practicing will last for 6 days from 21st to 26th of July 2020.
In witness for the ceremony, the Venerable Abbot THIệN together with monks from the pagoda. The Venerable shared the reason why the theme of the retreat was named as Nourishing Lotus. It is because lotus is a symbol of national culture. Lotus blooms to radiate its fragrance, to offer its various color, and to be useful for human life. Lotus is a flower associated with Buddhism, and Nghệ Province has a pond named Lotus in Kim Liên village. It is the hometown of our Uncle Ho, which has been associated with his great career of his entire life. Therefore, Lotus has been chosen by the organizer as a theme for the retreat. Simultaneously, the young attendees were also encouraged by the spiritual teacher. The young attendees should spend this valuable time in the pagoda to experience a spiritual ethic environment meaningfully, so that in the future, wherever you go, wherever you do, you will have valuable foundation, and on top of that, the most precious thing is a positive, virtuous lifestyle and attitude for their behaviors, speeches in life. Lastly, the young attendees were guided by the spiritual teacher to perform the spiritual ritual of the three jewelry and made vows to begin the retreat programs.
On the morning of July 19, 2020, at Thiên Quang Pagoda, BINH Province, a ceremony for inauguration of Vasa course and 800 portion gifts offering to visually impaired people was organized.
At the retreat matter Nâng Thích Nữ Hương Nhũ, Abbot of Thiên Quang Pagoda delivered the Dharma talk with the topic Reduce the inner expectation for self-happiness naturally to come for Buddhist attendance. Master Nâng said, Buddhists must diligently listen to the sutra. The roots of joy lies in our minds. When you are not too much burying yourself in perfectionism in life, the good deeds are true merit. Thus, it helps Buddhists to understand more deeply the teachings of Dharma for application in daily life. Before the Dharma talk delivered by the abbot, all the congregations had offered the incense to Buddha to recite the names of Amitabha Buddha, to pray for an undisturbed life and peaceful work. On behalf of visually impaired people, Buddhist Kim Nga share and express gratitude to Master Nâng Thích Nữ Hương Nhũ and the Venerables of Thiên Quang Pagoda for having brought the visually impaired people to the lives of Dharma, helping the visually impaired to practice, study the Buddha doctrines, bringing about many enjoyable community in their life. On this occasion, Thiên Quang Pagoda presented nearly 100 gifts to the blind. The total budget for the gift presentation is 300 million Vietnam dong.
Venerable Monsignors, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, the last news has side us this quickly news out. Thank you for your attention and following. Goodbye and see you in the next program on PSO TV channel. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha.